transfer window, looking back now, a successful one with 10 players arriving, 5 leaving. Are you happy with the way it's gone and the results of it all now?
Yes, 10 players coming in. It wasn't just all about doing the business on the deadline day. I know there's a lot of hype and a lot of media about the deadline day, but we tried to get some of our business done earlier on in the month. Bringing the players like Taylor Moore and Cameron Burgess in earlier on as well, and also bringing Jermaine Pennant and Ryan Lowe into the club as well. So that business was done before deadline day, and I think the euphoria about deadline day and the way that the media build it up, everybody's focused and thinking you're going to get that stellar signing there. So we tried to do our business early, but we didn't really. Clubs don't really want to do a huge amount of transitional changes in January, and we've had to bring in 10 players. We felt that the squad needed a bit of a change around as well, and we've tried to bring in better personnel, which gets us up the league table.
Deadline day is not about that marquee signing, is it? It's fine-tuning.
It is fine-tuning. It is about trying to bring in better players that we feel that can improve the squad as a whole and improve the 11 as a whole. And we've made conceded a lot of goals this season, and so we've had to change things around. That's why defensively we've tried to bring in players, but it's difficult to bring in players in January transfer window. Very, very difficult. People that have seen us around is that a lot of clubs wait until the deadline day because they want to see where their budget is, or they want to see where, if there's players to go move out, that they're doing. It's a bit of a game of chess, really. You've got a few players that clubs have maybe wanted to move on before they'll allow you to take one of their players. So it's a difficult day, really. It's a real difficult day, and I know a lot of clubs get frustrated with it because, like I said, if you've got 2 or 3 players that are hoping to move out for that club, and then they can maybe let you have a player as well. So it's a difficult time.
Jacob Beddoe was obviously the big one, the one many people were waiting for, but what a deal for the club. Unbelievable.
He's only been with us for 6-7 months. It just shows what we're trying to do with our academy and recruitment. We're identifying players even at academy levels to come in. We're bringing them in where we feel that they could make a difference to our academy age groups, whether that's at an under 15s, under 16s or under 18s level. We're trying to make sure we can improve all the time, and they've got a chance to get in the first team, and it's shown under Chris Brass and Ryan Kidd that they'll play in the first team. If they're good enough, they'll play, and Jacob certainly was that, and in the games that he played for us, he did exceptionally well, and but I'd seen him what he was capable of doing at youth team. I watched a lot of the youth team games, so I knew what he was about, and he's a real composed character. I think he's got a big future in the game, and there was a lot of interest in him, and it was also about picking the right club as well for him. That was something that was key to us. Aston Villa, with what they're trying to build at Aston Villa, they're a club that is coming to the Championship, but they're a massive club. They're a Premier League club, and certainly under the stewardship of Steve Bruce and Colin Calderwood as well, who were 2 centre-halves who have played the game and had a huge experience and huge success in the game. Jacob's going to learn tremendously under them, and something of when a club comes knocking on your door like Aston Villa, you've got to listen, but the deal had to be right for us. We rejected 2 bids from Aston Villa before we actually could agree terms, because it had to be right for us as a football club, and certainly that's my job to try and drive the price up as best as we can. But it's not only about just the down payment, it was also about the add-ons and the incentives that we can achieve. So if Jacob does successfully well, and again, you've got to pick the right club for that, because him going into somebody like Aston Villa, can he get a chance to be able to play in their first team in the next few years? I'm certain that will be the case, and and if he goes to Aston Villa and does exceptionally well, whether he sticks on or whether he goes on to another club in the future, hopefully Bury Football Club will get the rewards of that.
Well, it's not great to lose a good player. It's a good deal for the club. Absolutely delighted for Jacob because of what he's going to do.
Yeah, and I see some of the from yourselves of the social media comments saying that the club was delighted that we'd sold Jacob. It wasn't a case of being delighted that we'd sold Jacob and doing that. It was delighted for the boy because he's a fantastic lad. His attitude is first class, which is something that will stem him very well in the future, and that's something that attracted Aston Villa to it as well, because his attitude, he wants to learn, he wants to develop, he wants to improve, he wants to get better. He spends a lot of time on the training ground to try and improve himself. This is a guy that 7-8 months ago was released by Leyton Orient, you know, and we've brought him in. We've been able to develop him. We've been able to work with him. A lot of credit has to go to the academy staff as well, because they spent a lot of time, and Ryan Kidd and Mark Litherland have spent a lot of time developing him. But it shows what you can do as a pathway if you come to this football club. You know, we'll get them into the first team, and it's not always about selling our young kids. You know, we kept hold of Callum Stiles, George Miller, Scott Burgess, who have all been playing first team this season, and it wasn't right time to sell them players. You know, they are forming part of the first team squad, and the people have said, you know, we could have looked at maybe moving George Miller on. He scored 5 goals. He's getting a lot of interest at the moment. We don't want to sell George Miller right now, and he's an impact in terms of where we want to be as the club. So it'll be done on the right terms for this football club.